Good morning, everyone. Evil Dave here with Magic the Gathering Attitude. Oh, it's time for another fun-filled adventure of going through my buddy's stuff. My buddy Jay, who's kind of fallen financially on hard times. So he's selling his collection with the thought, like, I can always get this stuff back. So this is what we pulled so far, and the TCG price will be in the link in the description, along with the cards as well, along with what we pull here today. And thank you for everybody who's purchased these thus far. I'll go through this, just kind of a rehash of everything that we got here. And thank you for everybody who has participated in this. And I've sent that stuff out right away. You just have to email me. A quick pause here. Grim Tutor, somebody was asking about those. Yes, I forget who it was. They emailed me. I'm sorry. I got so many emails going on. I do have both Grim Tutors still. So, yeah, I get these out right away to everyone. But I kind of like doing this because I get to go through my friend's collection. And a lot of the stuff, I remember like buying them packs and stuff like that. And, you know, it's like it's a little sad and a little disheartening, but at the same time, I get it. You know, you got to make ends meet. You got to do what you got to do. And everybody's been super cool about it. So everybody, thank you out there. So, and there you have it. So here it is. I'll go through these really quick. These are the $4 and below cards. The ones that are hard sleeve are $5 and above. And I'll send them with the hard sleeves and obviously with these sleeves. Like, I'm not going to send you a card in the mail that's, like, not protected in some sense. So there you go. And I got plenty of stories to talk about today. More of things that, like, I notice in life. You know, we all have either of those epiphanies or just how life imitates art or art imitates life. However you want to call it, you know. And I like talking about those things. And I hope you guys like those too. So there you go. Anybody who helps me out along here, I will most certainly reward you with a card. Just hit it in the comments. And then hit me up in again at my email. I'm going to keep these. I've given Jay enough. So, hit me up with my email and tell me like what your address is, and I'll send you out something. I always have cards kicking around that I can help people out with. All right, he's got some stuff here that's, man, yeah. This stuff I guarantee has never been played, but he did somewhat organize it. Oh, jeez, man. Yeah, we'll go through it all. And I'll organize this for him as well during the pause X's. You guys wanted to see that stuff. So this looks like a bunch of, I'm just going to push the right off to the side just so it doesn't interfere with the, with what we're doing. Okay. Let me just get this stuff right so it doesn't drive you guys mad. And if they're just like, there are comments. Let me get some origins here. I mean, in Battle for Zendikar. By the way, this guy got me back into Magic at Battle for Zendikar. I went to a draft, and I know I've told this story many times. I didn't realize how fast the game got. You got to remember, I got out in the beginning of 2000. I enlisted into the Army on, I remember the date, March 19th, 2000. And the last packs that I bought were Urza's Saga. And then I jumped to Battle for Zendikar. That tells you how long I was out of the game for. 15 years. That's a long-ass time. And he's like, hey, we're going to rip some Magic down at the LGS. You want to come? And I said, yeah, sure, I'll do that. And it was, BFZ. And, okay, we got some comments and shit here. Academy Lore Master. Let's throw that to the side. And again, let me know. Let me know if you see something that, hey, stupid, you missed this. And say that too. Hey, stupid, you missed this. I'm not going to be offending, guys. It's fun. Like, I don't want to do that, Dave. It's not nice. You're a nice guy. Whatever. I'm evil. So, anyway, moving on. So, I get my 3 draft packs. And no kidding, the first pack that I open up is... I pull an Ulamog. And I'm like, the symbol's orange, not gold. Like, I just gotten back with, like, the last packs that I bought, because I asked him, I said, are they still doing the plain silver and gold, for, uncommon, rare, and common? He goes, yeah. He didn't tell me about mythics. Like, I didn't know mythics were a thing. Like, that's how bad I was. But I'm like, a 10 cast cost. I'm like, what the hell is it? I mean, I'm like, this card is sick, but God, I'm never going to be able to cast this in a draft game. So I took a blue card, because I like blue, and passed it off. And the kid beside me, he's like, really? Seriously? I'm like, what? I go, there's no way you're gonna get that out in a game. And I had no idea what Commander was either, so it was a thing. And the kid just and I was in uniform too. I just got out of work. These are the times when I was working like stupid, by the way, these cons of Tarkir might be a little something. So yeah, if you guys recognize one of those, let me know. So, and so he was like this kid. I'll say kid. He was like in his early 20s. That you could just tell he lived with his parents still. I knew this. Nothing bad about living with your parents. There's nothing bad about that at all. A little Phyrexia here, and it just irked me. That's nice. That he just kind of talked down to me the whole time. And he goes, you're not gonna believe that this guy just passed me. And I'm like, hey, dude, just relax, man. We're just here to have fun, And yeah, that was a thing. And it got to the point, I'm like, hey, listen, man, not for nothing, I'm going to pretzel you up here if you don't shut your mouth. All right, and you can go back to your parents' basement crying. And the kid shut up because there was no ifs, ands, or buts about it. And I think it finally dawned upon this freaking arrogant prick that oh shit, yeah, this guy's in the military. I don't know what he knows. And which is going to segue into what I'm about to talk about. Fighting. So, more cons Tarkir, Dragon's Grip. Actually, I'm going to pull those out. Those actually might be a little something. And Goblin Sled. And when people talk about, especially fighters, when fighters talk about fighting, I've won more than I've lost, it seems like everybody in the world has won more fights than they've lost. And that doesn't make sense because that means that the person that lost the fights really lost, lost every fight. Many people lost fights, an exorbitant amount. And I'm like, well, where are those people? Because those are the ones I want to fight and just beat the crap out of them. This is in my intemperate days. So I was a fighter. I wasn't always a fighter. And I'm not going to lie, the first, I want to say the first 5 or 6 fights that I got into as a youngster, I got my ass kicked. And it wasn't even a good ass kicking. I got my ass beat. And it wasn't until we were at a recreational basketball game that, not a rec league, but I actually organized basketball when I was I think I was in middle school. So I was probably, I was probably about 12. Those awkward years for anyone. You're growing into your body, your hormones are jumping up and down, blah, 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 blah. All that good jazz. And Stephen Kelleher, he lived up the street from me, and this kid grew to be 6'6". He had armpit hair and was, shaving with a chainsaw by the time he was 12. And he wasn't 6'6" at 12, but he was tall. I'm 5'6" now, Joe, just to give you a measure of what's going on. And he was picking on me, and I still play sports with him and stuff like that, but he was just a bully. There's no other way to say that. And here we go. Yep, that was on top anyway. Ooh, Deserted Beach. That's about $10. And Foil Consider, not bad. It's about $1 or so. Curse of Unbinding, sure. Bloodthirsty Adversary. Okay, we get some good little cards here. So anyway, yeah, he was kind of a bully. Legion Loyalist is a really good card. He does have Goblin Glory Chaser. He might have had a deck and just disassembled it. And believe it or not, basketball was my first love, and I was really good at it. I wasn't an athlete, but I was very athletic. And I don't think, actually, Great Merchant of Ass Poodle isn't worth a damn. And we were winning, and he had the ball, and there was only a couple minutes left. Like, we were winning big. And he was going, he was going in. He was a good ball player. But I played him many times, so I knew him intimately and what he was going to do. He was very predictable. And he had his back to me. And I knew which way he was going to turn, and I just stripped the ball from him, went in for a layup, and he pushed me from behind. And I went head first into the bleachers. I don't know why he has this hard sleeves, but you should probably have that hard sleeve, because that's foil. That's worth a couple bucks. Nelia, it's definitely about $5. Not bad. Allure of the Unknown, sure. Shadow of the Sky, something. Valiant Veteran. And I'll continue on with the story, guys. Ooh, okay, that is one that should be definitely hard sleeve. That's close to $15. Woo. Joda foil, very nice in the showcase. Is that Shattered Glass? That might be the Shattered Glass. I'll have to check that one. And Two-Headed HELLKITE. All right, guys, a pause real quick while I go through the stuff. I'll be right back and finish up the Stephen Kelleher story. And we're back. Okay, so we didn't do bad here, man. Joda went way down. So, and that is the showcase foil. It's not the Shattered Glass. So, but not bad. Again, the link will be in the description of the link will be in the description. The link is actually in the description for Jay's PayPal. This is not going to me. So if you do want these, and he's looking at about 40% market value, because for the most part, these are like untouched. They're like minty fresh. Okay, that's just his sleeve for it. So, but anyway, that was actually a pretty good haul. That wasn't bad. That wasn't bad there. That was one caveat. Second caveat, I'll be opening these tomorrow. So that was so much fun last Friday. So much fun. And yeah, I think that's about it for the caveats. So, there is one caveat to the story I was telling. So Steve, like I said, he was a bully. My mom kind of did the wrong thing, but her heart was in the right place. She said to him, went to his mom and said, "Hey, your son is tooling on my boy a little bit." And she was like, my mom was super nice about it. She wasn't like a jerk. Not like, dude, like your kid's a bully, and his mom's response, she had 4 boys, was boys will be boys. So my mom did say the next time he does something, tee off on him. And though I was little, I do have a lot of strength for a little guy. And my dad noticed that very early on in my life. Not very smart, but definitely strong. These look like all lands. I'll just go through these real quick. So anyway, going back to the basketball game. So yeah, he tosses me into the bleach, pushed me from behind. And it was a foul. Like, he wasn't going to win the game. He was just pissed off that I stole the ball. That's all that was. Man, what the hell? These are all lands and tokens. Okay, this is crap. I'm just going to put that off to the side. And I heard his cackling laughter behind me. And I saw white heat. This is the first time I absolutely went berserk in my life. Like, really, really berserk. And, yeah, I remember my head hurt so bad. And nobody likes getting hit in the head. I really hate getting... These look like all lands. Give me 1 second here, folks. I'm just going to... And like, how does the story end, Dave? Well, I'll tell you in a second. Give me 1 moment. All right. Yeah, these are all lands and tokens, too. Okay. Are these all freaking lands? Yeah, these look like all lands. Okay. You can tell I've not, touched these, gone through these, and apparently he did. Okay. Are these... All right. Let me... I'm going to pause it real quick, guys. I don't want to make the video too long. Stand by. Okay, and we're back. I figured it out. Actually, let me just... we'll I'll zoom in a little bit there. There we go. That's better. So yeah, my mom was at the game. His mom was at the game. So again, it was like, think of like organized baseball back in the day, just with basketball. And I remember all I saw were tall, scrawny Irish legs. And I ran towards them. I grabbed them. And I heaved with all my might. Now, mind you, he was really skinny. Though he had armpit hair and he was already shaven, he was also still going through his, he was all elbows. He was going through his growth spurts and he hadn't filled out yet. So he was actually relatively light. And I just picked him up, and I remember tossing him down as hard as I could, and I just with glee saw his head hit the parquet. And I saw his eyes roll back for a second. I mounted him, and I pounded the crap out of him. And bloodied his nose, bloodied his lip. The ref pulled me off. I actually elbowed the ref in the leg, and he's like, ah! And the other ref comes over, and they muscle me off. And so I got kicked out of the league, obviously. Like, you're out of here. Like right away, they just said that. And I was like, whatever. And we were walking out, and my mom, we walked by Steven's mom, and my mom's like, boys will be boys, right? And I'll never forget her saying that. And when I got in the car, about halfway home, I started to cry. Uncontrollably sobbing. And she's like, my mom reassured me. She's like, you did the right thing. She's like, she goes, it sucks. She's like, nobody likes to fight, but you did the right thing. And I'm like, I didn't start it, Mom. I didn't throw the first punch. And she's like, well, you sure as hell threw the last one. And she's like, come here. She was like wiping my head down. My head was bleeding. I hadn't even noticed. And that was definitely a win. And that was my first win. And Steven never troubled me again. So, and he definitely never went after my little brother either. So that was for sure. It didn't matter at that point whether I won or lost. I was gonna go, and no one wanted any part of that. So, or very few. So I didn't get into too many scraps after that. I'd have to say like college was the next time I got into a fight. And by that time, I was very confident because I had been working out, running, didn't do drugs, didn't drink. I barely drank. It's like I actually took college very seriously and worked my ass off as I was going through it. I was paying. My parents were paying for it. I was paying for it. Hold on one second. You all know how I feel about this card. I'll send this off with the person that helps me out. So. Anyway, yeah, it's just like I became really good. That I want to say like the next fight I was in was my junior year in college. I went from I started off at a community college because I wasn't that smart, and I didn't cut the SAT scores required to do well, but I was always good in math, almost tested out of it. But I got accepted after my sophomore year. Well, it was only a 2-year school, but I went to a 4-year school, Westfield State College at the time, now a university. Google it. It's in Westfield, Massachusetts. And I was put in the freshman dorm only because I was a new student. I was one of the few people, as a junior, I was one of the few people that had a car. So, as you can imagine, and this is when I actually started getting into Magic, believe it or not. But some of the freshmen were cool, and the ones that were around me were kind of like party hardy animals, which are fine. But by that point, like I was working 40 hours a week, going to school full time. Like I didn't have time for that shit. And these guys were watching Monday Night Football. That's pretty nice, actually. I like that. And they were making a ton of noise. I'm ready to go to bed. And I love football. Like that's my sport. That's my jam. And I friggin' this is different. I friggin' I just, I went out there and I knew them. They weren't bad kids. They weren't bad at all, but they were just being loud. And one of them, either by accident or on purpose, kicked my door, and my roommate was in there with me. And I'm like, hey guys, listen, do you mind just keeping it down a little bit? Try not to kick the doors. Oh yeah, sure, Slurry, no problem. So as soon as I close the door, boom, somebody kicked the door just to be a dick. I don't know who it was, but I remember. That's pretty cool, man. It's not bad. I just walked outside, grabbed the kid by the scruff of his neck. He just happened to be closest to the door. Punched him in the face. Straight up punched him in the face. I go, who's next? And I went behind my door, grabbed my hockey stick. I love hockey too. And I go, I'll F-word fight every single one of you right now. I don't care. And one of the guys that I've become friends with, he was a sophomore, also a Air Force. He was in the Air Force Reserves. He was my RA, and he came down there and he saved me from getting expelled from school. And he's like, Dave. I'm like, screw this, Matt. Fuck these guys. Blah blah blah. So, and the look of shock on the other guys' faces, they were just horrified because I just dotted this kid in the nose. And I did give him a black eye. So, and I'm grateful that I gave him a black eye. This could be something. These all could be something. Shadows of Innistrad. Can always some good cards here. And that was a thing. And again, they didn't mess with me after that. So they apologized to me the next morning. Like, hey Dave, we were drunk and blah. I'm like, I get it, man. Just you guys gotta chill out, man. I wasn't disrespectful when I said, I just said keep it down. I didn't even say you guys need to stop drinking or partying. I don't give a crap. You're all underage. I go, I know this for a fact. I go, I'm not ratting on you guys. Just chill out. And that was it. And like, you're right. You were fair about it. Blah blah blah. Well, yeah, whatever, dude. Just shut up. Shut your mouth. All right, guys. I'm gonna check these real quick. I don't think we got a lot, but we might have hit a little bit of something. Stand by. And we're back. All right, we'll try and make this video a little slower. I mean, a little quicker. So, Isolated Chapel, and that one's going to be worth a lot of money someday. So, I'll put that in the cool guy pile. All right, let's bring this back over here. See what we got here. So, I do remember the last fight I lost, and I was 27. I had just gotten back from Afghanistan, so I was still frosty. I went to Afghanistan in 2002, mind you, by the way. So that tells you how long ago it was, and yeah. And something to note, I don't like to fight. I just became very good at it, and I perfected my skills while on active duty at Fort Bragg. Oop, I just freaking tossed that one on the floor. So, what is this? No idea what this is. Oh, these all art cards? No, they're not. Okay, let's see what we got in here. Oop, I was out of focus there for a second. So, I was what you would call a DD, designated driver in my unit. Like, I always volunteered for it. I was somewhat of a barracks rat. Like, I went out every now and again, and those are the times I didn't DD. I just, go catch a movie, grab something to eat, maybe I'd get a drink or two. Like, I didn't get, like, stupid drunk. Ooh, Thalia, Guardian of Throbbing. That's nice. And obviously, these are the double features. That's actually a nice card. That's worth a few bucks. So, anyway, I got called up one night, and the MPs knew me very well because I would bring a lot of drunkies in, and they just saw it as responsible, and they and I always took care of them too. Hey, MINSC and Boo, not bad. Ooh, Baylor's a little something. 9 Fingers Keen ain't worth shit. That I do know. In the wintertime, I bring them coffees. In the summertime, I bring them Gatorades. I'm like, hey, guys, I'm just going to, I drop them off at the gate when I was on my way out. So, I got called, and my buddy, Steve, is like, bro, we're getting ready to mix it up. And it doesn't look good. There's two, they have at least 2 more than us. I'm like, okay. And he was a pretty level-headed dude. And I'm like, all right, I'll be down. You know, like just to pick him up, you know, fight if I need to. And it was with a bunch of locals, you know, that sort of thing. You know, they just, the military and the locals would clash. And it's generally over a girl. Like, that's just how it was. And I'm like, we just got back from freaking combat, man. Guys, can you just not freaking get into a fight like the first week we're back home? So it wasn't the first week. It was like we had been home like a couple months. Anyway, moving on. So I get there and the bar's pretty much. It was kind of a pub more so. If you're down in the Fayetteville area, you'll know what I'm talking about. And so I don't see a lot of people, but I hear some scuffling out back. And I'm like, I see a bunch of people lined out at the back door. I'm like, okay, they're all back fighting. And I thought I heard sirens off in the distance. So I'm like, great. You know, the cops come. It's time to go, you know. Suspicious stowaway. So, yeah, I get out there. And every time that I've come to pick them up or I've been involved in a scuffle with locals and whatnot, we always bested them. Wasn't happening. My buddy was on the ground getting pounded. It just looked like Larry the Cable Guy. I'm going to call him that. On steroids. Both 5'11", not the biggest dude. Kind of fat, but like that muscle fat. And he did have like he had the cut off friggin' flannel and shit. I'm like, oh God. You know, just like the typical redneck. Like this guy was a redneck. And he was beating one of my friends, I think it was Cantu, to a pulp, just on top of him, boom, boom, just punching him over. Like he had bested him. Godsend, not bad. And like that's it. It should have just ended. And I went at that dude as fast as I could. And I was fast. And I was strong. And I went into his knee with both my feet. Like I was like a dart. Just locked up my legs right into his knee. I heard the pop/crack. I heard him scream. At a minimum, I dislocated his knee. I think I broke it. As I slid into him, he fell on top of me. Now, this guy's only 5'11", I say only, but he weighs at least 230. It's because he fell on top of me. And as soon as he fell on top of me, he pounded me like I was covering up too. And one of his buddies started kicking me in the back. So while he's pounding me, and it was the third and last time I ever got my nose broken. So yeah, this might be definitely the lands from Infinity. Yeah, that was a thing, and wow, he's got some nice lands from Infinity. Sorry, I had to take a pause X there for a second. And all the people in your unit, the leadership, all they cared about was, did you win? I'll get to that in a second. So we heard the sirens were getting closer. Somebody did call the cops, and I loaded everybody up in my truck. I must have looked like shit, and I did. When I got back, I found out that both my eyes were already raccooned. Like I had a hard time breathing because my ribs were broken. They were not broken. They were cracked. They were fractured. And from that asshole cheap shot at me in the ribs with his freaking shit kickers. So I get to the gate, and the MPs are like, whoa, you know, they kind of did one of those. So I'm covered in blood. I'm already blood. I'm like, dude, we weren't here tonight. I think I was the only infantryman that ever got along with the MPs. So like, no, Dave, you weren't. They called me Dave. Like, that's how well they knew me. Ooh, Hunting Grounds. That's a really good card. And yeah. And that was a Saturday night. Monday morning, I still looked like shit. They didn't feel it till the next day. I felt every blow that night. And I've never hurt that bad in my life. It stung to breathe. It stung to move. I did. I was 27, so I'm like Wolverine. You recover so quickly at that age. And we were bred to be like triathletes at Fort Bragg. But I've never, ever taken a pounding like that at that night I did. And that was the last fight I lost. That one, I remember. It hurt so bad. And I hope I broke that effer's leg. It's because, like, I had to make it worth it, man. So, but it was bad, dude. Oh, there we go. We're getting into some good stuff here. Could be Night of the White Orchid. I have a few of those. Yeah, it was... Whew, man, I never want to feel like that one again. But the first sergeant, he knew that I was always the DD and always sacrificing free time to take care of the guys. He's going to all the guys, and they're all messed up. And he's like, "Did you win? Did you win?" "Yes, first sergeant. Yes, we did." He gets to me. He's like, "Did you win?" "Nope, we did not, first sergeant." He's like, "Solari, you're on pass. Why don't you go fix yourself up?" All right, guys, we'll do a recap here in a second. Stand by. And we're back. Guys, thanks for hanging with me. I surely appreciate you. And thanks for giving my friend the opportunity to make a little money and for you guys to buy something really great for a very reasonable price. More than reasonable. So this is just a quick recap of what we got. Again, the prices will be in the description. Just check out the name of the card. And again, it's in accordance with TCG market price. So in case you missed that. But yeah, MINSC was a good hit. I didn't know it was that much. So $15. Baylor's was like $8, $7 or $8. Godsend, great card. So, and then obviously Archangel of Tithes, which I knew was big. So, but that's going to about do it today, guys. Thanks for hanging with me and listening to my crazy ass stories. I got many more. Believe me. My life is very crazy, for lack of a better term. But until next time, guys, deuces. Much love. Appreciate every single one of you.